for me except these awkward jokes. So like that's how I try to like mix it up. So I appreciate people laughing at my awkward. Okay, back to the beginning. Sometimes I wish we could start back at the beginning. Turn our existence into a videotape, call it life. Then push life into a VCR, press play and pause, get the chance to rewind with our image still on screen, watching everything that ever meant anything reverse with the push of a finger. If we could press rewind. The wrinkles on these God-given shells would smoothen into soft, unscathed skin. We'd awaken from tombs, arise from the earth like trees living to become seeds. And I guess that means as babies, we'd go back into our mother's wombs. If we could press rewind. Mothers or fathers who abandoned their sons or daughters wouldn't walk away, but return, run backwards, turning towards their children so they would never have to look into eyes that ever saw them as unworthy of keeping. History would repeat, but instead fold into itself like disease-ridden blankets, rolling themselves back up like yo-yos, returning to the hands that ever made those hateful gestures in the first place. Battles wouldn't end in bloodshed, but instead a ride off into a sun rising with warriors always returning from war, or boarding school with their hair flowing behind them in lengths of rivers. Rewinding would mean going back to school to unlearn all the lessons ever taught to us. We'd start books at their ending, unstring sentences into letters until all we were left with was sound, waiting to come out of our mouths. Like my friend Angel. His would open to fountain gallons of vodka from liver. His throat would spill it back into bottle after bottle after bottle that he'd set back onto the shelves of a liquor store. He'd walk out of in a line so straight. It'd lead him to the day Angel's father cut off his wings when he left him fatherless, falling asleep on a bench or winding. He'd unfreeze to death as warmth re-entered his body, convulsing not in dry heaving, but reheating, detoxing into calm as snowflakes would slowly rise back up to the sky. Imagine the kind of miracle time travel like needles sucking poisonous drugs from addicted veins, pills undissolving into wholeness, being pushed back into containers, fitting just right. Everything would be all right. And for our youth who contemplated taking their own lives, or committed suicide, would feel blood flow back into open cuts, their veins pulsing with life that knows it's worth saving so much that determined hands repeatedly pull away razors from wrists, leaving behind no scar, no trace, not even the memory. And any fist that hit someone with rage or abuse would loosen into outstretched arms to call you home instead of the bullet-shaped holes making their way back into the guns or mouths that shot them in the first place. If we could rewind, maybe I could remember if I ever said anything to hurt Angel. If we could rewind, my angel would be able to fly backwards, lift himself back up, and life would be breathed back into him as he unwrapped the rope from his neck to inhale sweet and ever-expanding air into his chest. If we could rewind, I could tell Angel over and over, I loved you, and it would always, always start with you alive and well and not me. I'd gladly give up every poem I have ever spoken, have my mouth call back each and every one of them from your ears, back into my pen's failed attempts at trying to put back together the splintered pieces of our hearts staring at a blank page, wishing we could begin again.